going back to how this happened and how it was videotaped, first of all, it's surprising that such an incident was videotaped by a fellow student. I've seen that video, and it's really, really, really bad. But again, these students were out of their home country, Nigeria, to Dubai for a competition. So it then speaks to me that there was no guidance.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
that's why I said we will address issues as they come.
Go ahead.
For me to hand over my child to a school all the way from Nigeria to Dubai, then a system has actually failed. Because at the point when this happened, where were the custodians at that point? To the point of her leaving a hotel room to the boys' hostel or the hotel of the boys, to where this whole act was committed. Where were those custodians, the teachers that went with them to Dubai? What was the communication amongst the students, among the pupils, I beg your pardon, that even the teachers did not even have an inkling and to send it at that point? So it's a systemic failure from the home front, even to the school, and parental values are dropping. That's the issue we keep having. Now schools, when we want to pick the schools, when we want to make choices of school, it's now more of the material values we see. Unfortunately, a lot of parents are in this scenario. Material values, the physical values we see, the high. My children are going abroad. There is nothing absolutely wrong with all those things. But the major reason for being in school is the values, and you may not be able to identify those values if you do not have a value system as a family, as a parent that drives you. You may not know what to watch out for, and your children will be at the mercy of teachers or staff or schools. I'm not talking about Chrisland alone here. Any school might have been established only for profit reasons. So there are 1,001 reasons that all these things happen, but we must go back to the fundamental values and systems.
How then can one achieve sanity in homes where these pupils, these children are being faced with what we now call the wider world? You have all the gadgets in place, you have the tabs, you have the phones, you have all the internet stuff going on for these children. So how then do we bring back sanity to the home front?
Thank you so much. Whether we like it or not, the internet has come to stay. Thanks to parents that have actually infused parental guardians into all what they're doing, restricting the age of the student and the children that can be exposed to all this. But we realize that regardless, as parents, our non-availability in terms of our workspace career has taken away our time. Because the major values, no matter how we take away these gadgets or we control, what is very, very critical in the lives of our children is for us to have quality time with them, quality conversation with them. We keep saying also that availability is not ability. We have to be available for our children, and we also have to get the ability to instill the right values, virtues, and skills. However, as parents, you cannot shy away from the fact that you do not have the capacity. You may not have the capacity to instill all the value systems. And that's why we have teachers, that's why we have mentors, that's why we have coaches. But when you know the fundamental values, the ones you know you can sincerely not give, you now begin to depend on the right, tested and trusted support system, starting from the kind of schools to attend, the friends to keep, the neighbors and the environment to stay with, the colleagues to keep in the office, the community, offline or virtual, you need to belong to as a parent. These are the things that will drive, because truly is getting more challenging.
Now, there's something, thank you very much. There's something, there's something personally I've observed among parents where there's always this trading of blames when a parent is told about an affair or an act by their children wards a bad act. They tend to say, no, that's not my child. My child wouldn't do such a thing, and things like that keep going on under their nose. So where is the parent going astray? Is it by not receiving what others observe in their children, or by being so defensive of their children's acts?
Yeah. Thank you, thank you. I'll also say again, we have quite a number of dysfunctional parents who were also not properly parented. And that's the major monster and menace we have. And by our culture as Africans, we have been nurtured to sweep things under the carpet, and we have been nurtured to look for the next available person to blame for our ills. The right thing to do as a responsible parent is to find out why. And when you do not achieve the why, the how will be different. I also keep saying that many times why we say these things will keep happening is because of this blame game we keep throwing. The parents will blame the school will blame the parents, the community will, no, let's stop it. I remember in the olden days, they keep saying that it takes a whole community to raise a child. They never had a formal system, but to a large extent they got it all right until we all lost it out of social media and our busy state. So what I want to say is that this blame game must stop. When situations like this happen, find out how. It's not a time to say it's not my child. Many things are parenting our children under our nostrils. So nobody should hold brief until you are so sure that you have the proper value system and you keep working at it. So you can't blame, you can't be throwing tantrums or cover up. Enough of this cover up. Now we need to face the reality. We need to separate the symptoms from the sickness and from the source. Many times, like this again, this is another symptom of a systemic default. This is another symptom of a moral decadence. This is another system that our school system is faulty. This is another evidence that we are on the peripherals as a school. We want to go to Dubai, we want to go to the US. This is another evidence that a system has failed. And I listened to the video of the parents. It's so annoying to the extent that the school also, according to our reports, also covered up. You did not even tell the parent what happened. You took her daughter for tests and changed according to her. Change it to pregnancy test without the consent of the parents because you wanted to cover up. That is way so out of place. Image is more nurtured here than values. And until we stop that, we'll keep going on blame game.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mrs. Nike Ajayi. You are a family life practitioner.